Hello, everybody. This is Debo with Debo's Movie Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Christian Bale as Batman, Heath Ledger as Joker, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, Sir Michael Caine as Alfred, Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel, Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent, Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, featuring Eric Roberts as Boss Maroney, and other notable appearances by Tiny Lister and Michael Jai White. And if I hadn't already mentioned it already, but last but not least, Heath Ledger as the Joker. In his basically his next to final role. I mean, come on, Ledger was perfect for Joker. I mean, to the point that he basically gave us all for it. I mean, that's a talent we lost way too soon. I mean, just I mean, practically because, and along with just about the fact that this is practically one of his best performances, along with Knight's Tale and The Patriot. And in bat-related news today, I should also acknowledge the passing of Kevin Conroy, who in my opinion was the greatest animated Batman, whereas live action is up for debate between my leading contenders in that one. If I hadn't already mentioned in every other Batman video I've done, was kind of goes is a tie between bait. I can't really say. I kind of liked them all. Liked them all, even Clooney to some extent. And back to Dark Knight. I mean, talk about one of the most iconic takes on both Batman and Joker. I mean, like I said, Heath gave us all for that performance. I mean, and thank God we didn't get an origin story for him because DC's work terrible, very terrible about rehashing origin stories. I mean, and but I gotta say, great castings all over. Even with that kind of, I almost want to say, is a debatable performance on of Eric Roberts as Boss Maroney, who was mentioned in Batman Forever as throwing acid on the Tommy Lee Jones version of Two Face, whereas of course Aaron Eckhart's gets disfigured after saved by Batman. Which I kind of thought was just kind of a dumb thing, kind of a love hate take on that one. Of kind of thought it was dumb to kill Rachel, but with all the way, but the fact that, well, her sacrifice had to happen for Two Face, for Harvey to become Two Face and become a villain. Yeah, because Aaron Eckhart, I mean, he was a better Harvey Dent than he was a Two-Face, in my opinion. I mean, just stance, just how he just stood out from to the point that he was wanting to make Bruce Wayne hang up the cape and cowl because of course Dent was supposed to be all Mr. Honest and was able to better job of Gotham than Bats and Gordon combined. And I got like his quote with which basically was a foreshadowing of either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And that one where he chastises that criminal for bringing a foreign made gun into the courtroom and saying, "Yeah, next time you do something like that, buy American." And of course, that one kind of puts him on equal measure as to with Tommy Lee Jones as Two Face. Though I'm gonna say next time for a Batman movie, either between Pattinson or Affleck, or whichever one they WB wants to straighten out first. I'm just thinking Mads Mikkelsen would be a good candidate. Okay, back to Dark Knight. Man, talk about some epic parts in that movie. Just you got the whole chase, which pretty much changed my mind on the Tumbler from the first movie compared to the first movie, where the Tumbler in the first one was just strictly Batmobile, whereas after he wrecked it, that badass iconic chase, and turns into the Bat Cycle, or as this one's called, the Bat Pod. Yeah, I kind of changed my opinion on it because at first I was like, you couldn't mind. First of where Batmobile's supposed to be a hot rod, not a tank. And then you got the whole thing with, and I gotta give it to Morgan Freeman. And back to what I was saying about Eric Roberts, and I mean, I'll just think of with his casting as Maroni was kind of surprising, given plays a good villain, but I just did not see him as a traditional mafia guy. Now if it was like Gotham took place in the South and he was Dixie Mafia, now that would make more sense. But then again, Gotham, this one was filmed in Chicago. And of course, Bale just did his iconic one of where he was trying to handle the code. And I got to mention another excellent part was been like that infamous bank robbery scene with, where the Joker guy was gang were all masked and tying up loose ends and all. And then one tops up the bank with after an excellent performance by William Fichtner as the bank manager. Just trying to take down the Joker gang, and then of course, real Joker takes the mask off. It's like it says, "Whatever doesn't kill you makes you a stranger." And then they all get in that school bus and try to get in the exit traffic of school, of all the real school buses getting out and all without a trace. I mean, talk about Chrono Mastermind. Especially since Joker was one of them ones that's as Alfred said, some men just want to watch the world burn. And in the case of the Rachel thing, not only was they, I was kind of thought the killing off of the character was bad, but unpopular opinion. But I kind of thought Katie Holmes was better than Gyllenhaal. And of course, but then again, every every role was still perfect though. I mean, just from epic scenes from the bank robbery to the whole Would You Rather scene with the boat bombs and all, and of course you got that whole incident, and that whole thing with Bruce Wayne holds a campaign thing for his buddy Harvey, and I mean, talk about great chemistry between them two and of being friends and all. Whereas Harvey Dent was going from like a trying to be a closest thing to an honest politician to to a to a borderline criminal, and basically he just about had his falling down moment with that, from that scene where he takes out Maroni and then declares his own brand on Batman for his failure to say it, because after his heartbreak of losing Rachel, and then of course that one scene with a hospital and that whole unscripted moment with the explosions and such, which I kind of thought was a funny goof, where Joker just still in that nurse's outfit, is trying to get the switch to this bomb thing going off, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And how they didn't script it, put it in the script, and then after it is escaping, and that whole get captured once for pull off the old cliched of trick of where of let himself get captured for an even bigger plan to pan out. And I'm just like, woof. And great development for Gordon. But overall, Dark Knight definite gives a 5 out of 5. I mean, just from epic moments, from the chase, the bank robbery, the transition, Harvey's transition from regular Harvey Dent to Two Face, and even that funny scene where the fake Batman would get the hockey pads and guns try to disrupt the Scarecrow's parking lot meeting, and of course the tumbler pops up, and of course you don't see Scarecrow again until the next movie. But overall, this one is a sure shit epic movie. I mean, and it's also Batman related. Like I said, Conroy, you were the most iconic Batman of my childhood.